What's your name and what style of art do you do?
Ooh, style of art. That's a tricky question. I'm Lina Large. Lina, I'm not very large, but talk to me, and I am. My art is very much the style. I don't know, it's my style. It's like different. It's not ever the same. It's not really ever consistent unless I'm doing a series. There are elements of other artists in my work. Sometimes you can see like Picasso or like Van Gogh or like Georgia O'Keeffe. Those are like the three artists that I grew up on, or like I knew at a very young age. So I think I can see a lot of their work in my work. But then there are other things that add to it too. My lifestyle, being in Atlanta, being on the scene, being, I don't know, who I am, being a practicing Buddhist, all those things like are in my work. So my style is my style. Call it what you want.
How long have you been painting?
Ooh, the very first time I remember playing with colors, it was the first day of kindergarten.
Nice.
That was my very first like image of it. But art wasn't my focus until later in life, until I was in my early 20s, early to mid 20s. So I'm a little older.
And what brought you to art?
What brought you back
to art?
What brought me back to art and what keeps bringing me into art, and what's kept it in my life for such a long time. Art is a release of everything, good, bad, ugly, in everything within me and within other people too. It's a connection to a world outside of ourselves. It's a connection to inner being, an inner us that we can't really tap into on a conscious level. And so what brings me back to art is the fact that there's a part of me that keeps bringing me back to me that I have to attach myself to, and I have to bring out, and I have to show other people, and I have to have other people relate to. And yeah.
That's a very deep answer. I like that. Very deep answer.
Cool.
So, what part of you do you think you go away from when you step away from your art? The most noticeable part.
Ooh. The fact that it gives me the opportunity to really be away from my ego. It is, I think when I'm painting especially, it's coming from within me. It's energy coming from within me out onto whatever it is that I'm putting colors or paint or building or whatever onto. So it's a moment to get away from that part of me that's attached to the rest of the world, that is my job or my family or my friends or all of those things. I get to put the ego to the side and kind of, at an essence, be myself.
I like that. Now, how does yoga provide the same thing for you but in a physical sense?
Well, yoga, everyone knows a little bit about the history of yoga and how it got to the Western world and why it's such a big part of why it should be such a big part of our lives right now. That's kind of a known thing. But for me, it's art and yoga are kind of the same thing. It's the art of the body. It's movement and elements of yourself where you're stepping outside of what makes you you. You're kind of pushing yourself to the limits and touching another side of you while you're doing different positions or humming different mantras, or kind of pushing yourself to see who you really are. And yeah, it's like art. You're getting back to that part of you that you can't really touch on a daily basis, or when you're moving, or when you're doing everything that the rest of the world wants you to do. So.
Exactly. So, what pieces have you prepared for the Moving Art Show, since we bring in art and yoga in the same room?
Yes. I love yoga, and I love that Moving Art ATL is actually bringing yoga and art together. It's probably like the ideal situation for myself and a lot of other artists. I guess every other artist that's in the show, because this is freaking awesome. But for me, I have gotten a few different people that I know, a few different shapes and sizes, and gotten different reference materials, different models to kind of inspire me and relay the message that I want to put out there for this particular show. And I guess that message, if there was going to be one, is that just embrace you, embrace your body, take in those times, like in yoga when you're structured and you're set in a certain position and you're supposed to be focused, like attach onto that when you're doing other things too, when you're just being sexy or when you're being funny or when you're being sad. Kind of tap into those different strengths and different elements of you that you can tap into when you're, you know, doing yoga or when you're painting or drawing or whatever it may be. Yeah, you can do that when you're moving and when you're doing everything else. Like, you can do it.
Do you know who you'll be drawing at the, well, not drawing, but do you know who you'll be doing body painting on to at the show?
Lauren No Chill. Is that her Instagram? What's her Instagram? I need to, can I look at her Instagram?
It's Lauren No Hill.
Lauren, I'm like, what is it? I don't know. I follow a lot of people. Is it Lauren No Hill?
It's Lauren No Hill, yes.
What, is it underscore?
I think so.
Oh, I suck.
It's all good. You know, most of the artists don't know who they're painting. You're not the only one.
I know her.
You're not the only one. It's all good. She's out of town too, so she wasn't.
Yeah, she's in Ohio, and this. You know what's so cool about that is my dad's whole side of the family is from Ohio.
Nice.
Like, yeah, and then most of them are still there right now, so that's pretty cool too. But yeah, okay, Lauren No Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren No Hill. I'm painting her, and her Instagram is super dope and super awesome. And I actually had the opportunity to like check it out a little bit and use her, I guess, her message and her energy to kind of inspire what it is that I want to do, what I want to paint on her. I'm going to kind of keep it kind of yoga related, Buddhist related, but I want to kind of bring out that ebony in her that I see. I want to kind of tap into the organicness of her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See, I think that she can bring out what it is that I'm seeing. I don't know. Maybe I think she can pull off what I want to paint. So we'll see.
So what's the difference when you have a person that you have to paint on versus a canvas? What are the pros and cons in a sense?
Pros and cons for both. I guess, okay, so for me, I like to experience everything, right? So I like to paint on everything, and I like to draw everything, and I like to make things, and I knit and sew, and I do all that jazz too, just for the fun of it, not like because I want to sell or make, you know what I mean? Like, I do it for fun. So the pros is like I'm getting to paint on canvas. I'm getting to like kind of sit and focus a little bit more and show myself in that way. But then I'm also getting to paint on a moving canvas, something that's going, like when you look at it in one way and then 2 minutes later you're going to look at it again, it's not going to be the same. So that's pretty cool. But I guess that could be a negative too, you know what I mean? Because most artists, when they decide they want something, it's like stay still and be just like that forever. But that's not going to happen. I don't know. I don't see the negative in it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited.